The Department of Agriculture has issued a statement blasting Bill 190, saying the proposal to give new rights to native fishermen is probably unconstitutional and appears to violate passages in Guam's Organic Act prohibiting GovGuam policies that discriminate on the basis of race. Agriculture's Deputy Director Joe Torres writes that the bill would bar anyone who isn't a native Chamorro from fishing in Guam's waters, and he suggests the bill could harm marine preserves by opening them to native fishermen. Moreover, the department's fisheries biologist Brent Tibbett says more than $1 million in annual federal funds given to GovGuam are also at risk if the bill passes.
There is a concern that if it is found to be discriminatory, that we could lose federal funding. The AG's office is actually working on the legality or constitutionality of it or not. That's really not our area of expertise. But if it is found to be unconstitutional, that probably our federal funding would be at risk, yes.
Senators Judi Guthertz and Roy Respicio introduced Bill 190 after a similar bill became law last year, when the legislature overrode a veto by Governor Felix Camacho. That bill called on the Department of Agriculture to develop special rules for native fishermen, which the department so far hasn't done. Senator Guthertz says native fishermen have historically been denied their fishing rights, and the bill will compensate them for rights lost in the past.
It doesn't take away anything from anybody, because the council that would be formed by this bill, should it become law, would recommend rules and regulations, and those proposed rules and regulations would have to go through a process required by law, which is the administrative adjudication process, and eventually would have to be considered by the legislature.
But that might not be enough to satisfy some other critics of the bill, like fisherman Pat Atherton. Atherton has fished in Guam's waters for years, but he says his livelihood is threatened by the bill because he doesn't meet the definition of a native Chamorro.
This doesn't just grant a special right to the Chamorro people. It also takes away rights from all the rest of us. And we have to rely on this council being fair to us. 5 members of this council, of the 13, will be picked from the Chamorro organizations that have no interest in my best interest at all.
Meanwhile, the legislature plans to hold a public hearing on the fishing rights bill Tuesday. Stefan, Sebastian, PNC News.